Hi guys, so I'm just tuned into Radio 1 this morning. They're expected to announce our UK act just after 9 o'clock. It's approaching 9, so I'm just going to wait here and see what happens. If you're new here, my name's Rachel, by the way. Good morning. You can see the morning light flowing through the room, so I apologise if there is a terrible light here, to be honest. I literally never listened to Radio 1. The last time I listened to Radio 1 was for the announcement in 2020, so you can tell just how uncivilised I am. So what's this now? Ooh, okay, let's turn that down. But a little bit of context about this video. I'm obviously from the UK, and every year I prepare myself for the Eurovision song. It's been 25 years since we last won Eurovision. Nearly a quarter of a century has gone by, and we have failed to deliver goods for 25 years, in my opinion. We came last in 2021 with double freaking zero, which was a national embarrassment. The media lapped it up. They absolutely loved criticising James. They liked being xenophobic and blaming the rest of Europe for us coming last, when in fact, the main reason we came last is because of our ridiculous staging and really terrible performance. I like James as an artist, but I just thought everything else about our act just didn't work. It wasn't up to date with the current Eurovision competitiveness or staging techniques. It was all just left in the early 2010s, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. So this year the BBC came out and said, okay, we've now partnered with Tap Management, who are basically going to be in charge of selecting our artist and our song. So there's rumours going round as to who the artist might be. People think it could be Sam Ryder, who's a TikTok star. I've never heard of this guy, but we can only hope that the entry is going to be good. So essentially the UK is in serious need of improving this year. There's so much potential for us to send a really good artist with a song that represents our music industry, but what we tend to do is send an artist that's pretty good with a song designed for Eurovision, which never works because nobody sends a song designed for Eurovision and does well. Our previous winners like Duncan Lawrence and Måneskin, and even Mahmood, runner-up in 2019, they did well because they weren't Eurovision songs, whilst our current artists that we sent, like Suri with Storm, bland, unoriginal, derivative. Michael Rice with Bigger Than Us, again, bland, uninspired. We came last. Then we had James Newman in 2020 with My Last Breath, a bit of a step up but still not good enough, quite bland. And then we had James Newman again in 2021 with Embers, really ridiculous staging with those plasticine trombones and trumpets on the stage. Terrible performance, and we got absolutely nothing from the public and nothing from the juries. So we have literally nowhere lower to sink. We've got to improve, and I'm really hoping that Tap Management brings it, because they've got a lot of artists on their website that are really promising, and I just think we deserve to do better at a competition to do with music when we are one of the leading music industries in the world, you know? Right, I think they're about to announce it 15 minutes later than I thought they would.
So, I love your new role as the head of marketing.
Yes, I have, I've appointed myself head of marketing this year for the Eurovision Song Contest, brackets UK. So, I know what you're probably thinking. You're sat opposite me, Greg, and you're thinking, here we go again.
Well, I'm actually not a massive snob, and I want you to tell it to everyone, because I would really love it to be different this year.
So across Europe, at the Eurovision Song Contest, countries get behind their act. Italy got behind Måneskin last year, and look what happened there. They are now global superstars. 2 top 10 hits already in the UK. They're selling out worldwide arenas, 2 Brits nominations. They're on every talk show in America. That's what Eurovision did. The Dutch got behind Duncan Lawrence a couple of years ago.
Now that song Arcade is a TikTok phenomenon. Eurovision does now make global superstars.
It always did though.
It's the biggest music show on the planet.
What do you mean now?
If
It
your
always
default
did.
is to think of it as like, oh, it's a bit cheesy, isn't it? Oh yes, some of it is, but some of it's really good. And Europe just doesn't see it in the same way that we see it. And it's got to change. Everyone listening knows about Eurovision. Some people don't care, some people really care. And then the UK act comes on and we go, oh, that was rubbish. And then that's all we do. And then we forget about it until the next year. And
there's a reason why it's rubbish.
Done well recently, because here in the UK, we don't really get behind the act. And we
Actually,
need to
a lot of people do. It's the BBC that doesn't get behind the act.
They look at us in Europe and go, why aren't they getting behind their act? We are. We need to be proud. And stop sneering
it's
a little
a top-down thing.
Really
it's not bottom-up.
It's not
the UK public.
Let's
it's
spread some
the press and the BBC.
I'm up for it. The more we follow this person,
oh, it's a person. Oh, spoiler!
And we grow them together. Yes, there have been some leaks.
That's what the International Head of Relations was talking to me about today.
Yeah, see, the real Eurovision fans are like little beavers. They're like you make your garden all nice and they'll come and mess it up. Let's get behind our act. Shall we play the song? Because I need a breather.
Let's do it.
Let's hear
this
the song
year's
then.
UK Eurovision entry 2022 is Spaceman by Sam Ryder.
Yeah. We knew it. We knew it. So I'm not going to listen to it on the radio. I'm going to react to it via YouTube so I can insert a proper reaction in here. But so far, I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to raise the morale a little bit in the country. But he's shifting the blame on the British public as if we don't care about Eurovision or, you know, we don't get behind our act. But in the first place, there's no act to get behind. If the song's crap and if the act isn't inspiring or relatable, or someone that the British public will download their song or something, we're not going to get behind it. It's a top-down problem. He's basically saying it's a bottom-up problem. It's the UK public's fault. And if our attitude changes, then maybe maybe we do better. Maybe the other wider European public would vote for us. But no, it's actually the BBC's fault. And people like Greg James and Scott Mills, who in the past have been quite notorious for making fun of the contest and just putting this agenda out there as sort of, it's just a bit of fun one night a year and then we forget about it and a year goes by and then it happens again. It's wrong. It's not fair. So I'm going to react to the song and let's see Spaceman by Sam Ryder. Is it all what it's cracked up to be then?
If I was an astronaut, I'd be floating in midair, and a broken heart would just belong to someone else down there. I would be the center of my lonely universe, but I'm only human, and I'm crashing down to earth. If I was an astronaut, I'd have a bird's eye view. I'd circle around the world and keep on coming back to you. In my floating castle, I'd rub shoulders with the stars, but I'm only human, and I'm drifting in the dark. I'm up in space now. Up in space now. Spaceman, and I wanna go home.
Okay, so initial thoughts on this. So far, this has got a lot more character than a lot of the songs we've sent in the past 10, 15 years, for sure. I think the artist sounds like he believes in what he's singing, which is good. And some of the lyrics, not all of them, but some of the lyrics are quite well written and I like it. Something else I've picked up on immediately is that he's got a really nice voice. I like his voice. It's very tender, sensitive. He knows how to play with dynamics and I think that is helping the song elevate a little bit. I can tell he's slightly inspired by the David Bowie 70s with some of the chords, although the chords are restricted in places. I think it's got potential, but so far I'm not blown away. I'm not, you know, whiplashed in my chair. I'm just sort of nodding along. It's very inoffensive, which in one hand is good, but on the other hand, is this the song where people get up and go put the kettle on and not actually listen to it during the live performance? Because I have not been hooked yet. There's nothing that's really drawing me in apart from his voice, because I think he's got a really, really, really nice voice. Let's keep going.
If I was an astronaut, I'd speak to satellites. My navigation systems would search for other life. But I'd be up and thinking about what I left behind. 'Cause I'm only
It's a good vocal, isn't
the
it?
real world on my mind. I'm up in space now. Up in space now.
This is a good chorus, I think.
I've searched around the universe, been down some black holes. There's nothing but space, man. And I wanna go home.
Yeah, so the chorus is definitely the best bit of the song. I like how it soars Spaceman, like the distance between those two notes is quite creative, because if you're talking about space, it's really far away, so you've got that distance in the notes, there's imagery there, and it ties in nicely. I like when music literally follows the lyrics, and I think the chords in the chorus are probably the most defined and exploratory. I think it's well written and it works. The melody fits with the chords, but again, it's not wowing me. The only wow factor is the height of his voice and the way he can hit those notes. Let's close it out.
Gravity keeps pulling me down. As long as you're on the ground, I'll stick around.
Forced rhyming there, not a fan.
I'll stick around. I'm up in space, up in space, I've searched around the universe, been down some black holes. There's nothing but space, man. No, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Nothing but nothing but nothing but space. Nothing but nothing but nothing but space. I've searched around the universe, been down some black holes. Nothing but space, man. And I wanna go home.
Okay, yeah, the chords are nice. I think the chords have sold me because there's something very British about it. It does sound like it is from the UK, and it's reminded me a bit of James Morrison's music, a bit like The Feeling. There's a band called The Feeling as well. They've got a similar vibe. But competitiveness, it's lacking in competitiveness, if I'm honest. I think the only USP of this is his voice. I think he's got one of the, honestly, the best voices of the competition. The range of his voice, the tone, the delivery, the belief in the lyrics, to me, that is fantastic, because a general member of the public will watch that and be like, okay, this guy's selling the song. He is selling the song, but as a collective, the 3 minutes 40 seconds of this song, it's a little underwhelming. It's better than our other entries, no doubt, better, but it drags a little, it loses pace, it feels like it needed to build slightly more, and I think the middle 8 let it down. with that chromatic movement about, it was talking about gravity pulls me down. I feel like that did slow the pace of the song down and it didn't play to his advantage. I like the choice of the artist. I think Tap management have done 50% of their obligation, which is to find an artist for the contest, because we've got here someone with a brilliant voice and probably a great charisma and presence on stage, I'm hoping. But the song is not cracking up to the level of the artist. To me, it's like you're gonna have the finest Italian sausage served with spaghetti hoops. It doesn't work. To me, I think someone with a voice like that should have been given a better song or presented forward a better song. I don't think this is in the bottom 5. I don't think we're coming last, but I don't think we're coming in the top 10 with this. I think it might be a sort of right hand side of the scoreboard, maybe towards the top. I'm thinking maybe 17th, 18th place. Considering other songs we've got so far, it's a step up, but I'm not entirely sold. I'm slightly disappointed because I think someone with a voice like that could have had a really, really gut-wrenching, heartfelt entry that made me almost cry like some of the other songs, and that didn't move me. I didn't feel emotionally moved by it. All I was in awe of his voice. So I commend the artist. I think he's a good artist, and if he's respectful and his heart is in the competition, I will get behind this artist, like Scott Mills said, but I can't promise to like the song. So I think all in all, I'm going to give that song a 5.5 out of 10. It could have been higher. We'll see how they cut the song down as well, because it needs to lose 40 seconds. I think get rid of the repetitive bits. It could be a much more solid, well-rounded entry. But overall, 5.5 out of 10. Let's see what happens. This has tired me out. I need to go. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day and stay tuned for more content and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye.